That's a really good team that we just played. They've been playing some of the best basketball in the NBA lately, and Willie's a great coach. I'm very proud of the team to come out tonight and have 6 guys in double figures and 31 assists. Shows that we play together on the offensive end, but I think that's been pretty consistent this season. Obviously, what stood out to me was how connected we were on the defensive end. That's our best defensive game of the season as a team. Identifying the game plan, helping each other, rebounding as a team. That's a big physical group that we just played, and I thought our guys did a great job holding their own on the defensive end, and allowed us to come out with a big win here in front of the home crowd.
What did you do in particular on the defensive end to disrupt what they wanted to do?
Yeah, I thought, we've talked a lot lately about our activity in general. I thought early in the season we were flying around a little bit more and more active, getting our hands on balls, pushing catches out, not letting teams reverse the ball as easily, catch it where they want to. And then I think we went through a period where, whether it's the guys over-focusing on the game plan or whatever the case may be, I just felt as a team we got a little bit rigid on the defensive end. We got a little bit careful. I think we were trying to be perfect on the defensive end, and I think, what makes our group have the ability to be special is when we do fly around. We've talked all year about being an imperfect team and leaning on each other and having a high level of activity, and I thought we got back to that tonight. I think Vando did a very good job early in the game of setting the tone for us, but Mike pursuing the ball, JC pursuing the ball. I thought Walker was great in his minutes as well. Just a really good team effort, and I think tonight, when we go back and watch the film, we probably weren't perfect in our game plan execution, but our level of activity was much higher than it's been recently.
You guys allow the fewest three-point attempts in the NBA right now? Why is that?
I think our guys do a good job of recognizing when they have to help and when they're out of the play. Sometimes you can get a little bit pinned into your own rotations, and you create unnecessary help. A guy has the ball relatively contained and they're going to take a tough 2-point shot, and you run across the lane anyway and end up giving up a corner 3. It's something that we've worked on a lot, and I think our team has done a really good job of understanding those decisions and making pretty good choices. The unintended consequence of that is I think that, sometimes that's what leads to our lack of rebounding, is we don't make that second and third effort to, okay, I made the good decision to take away the 3-point shot, the floater gets taken or the pull-up jump shot gets taken, now I have to fly back in and rebound. So, guarding in the NBA is hard. Being a good defensive team takes a ton of effort. It takes multiple efforts on every possession, and that's something we've been stressing in practice, and the guys are getting better and better. They're very bought in on that end, but I think making those decisions to take away the threes has been very good for us, but we need that follow-up effort to take care of the glass.
There's a game like this where, you preach what you have to do defensively and then cleaning up the possession. Is a game like this where all of that stuff works and you can actually put it on film and show what works? Does that help you guys going forward?
Yeah, absolutely. I think anytime you have examples of what it's supposed to look like, it resonates a little bit more than only showing situations or film clips of possessions that are wrong. You should do this or you should be there. I think anytime you can paint a picture that this is what it's supposed to look like, it sticks a little bit better in their brains. I'm not a scientist. I'm not sure if that's actually true, but that's how it feels to me, is that anytime you can give them like a visual of like, this is what it's supposed to look like, it's very helpful. So tonight will be another opportunity for us to learn. We really do try to approach each game after the fact the same. Win or lose, there's definitely some things in tonight's game that we should have done better, and there's some positives that we need to try to do more. So, we'll get together as a staff and put together some film for the team and try to have a good practice tomorrow.
Early in the year, Nikhil said he was really working to get out of his own head as far as not letting mistakes compound and just like emotionally being involved. And how has he evolved that way for you from just not even being in the rotation early to where he is now and has been very consistent?
Yeah, Nikhil's done a tremendous job of exactly what you're talking about. You know, we've had plenty of conversations about the game is not going to be perfect, and I think Nikhil is in the NBA because he's a perfectionist and he's worked really, really hard to get here, and he's very detailed about his work on the court, in the weight room, watching film. That's his personality, and that's his biggest strength, and at times that can be his biggest weakness because he has a hard time letting go of the imperfections that have just happened. So you know, he's conscious of it and he's working on it, and Nikhil's a good player. He can do a lot of different things on the court. He's not one-dimensional. And so we're trying to continue to put him in situations where he can be himself. And I think he's done a really, really great job this year of sticking with it when things haven't gone his way, when he hasn't been in the rotation on a certain night, or he hasn't gotten as many minutes, or he does get some minutes and he doesn't play great. 82 games is a lot of games, and the next one's coming quickly, and so it's about how do you recenter yourself and get ready for the next game.
You were asked pregame, about the second unit going against New Orleans, kind of been a major catalyst for their win streak. You guys outscored them 60-38 tonight. Just thoughts on that group?
I think the second unit has been a great strength of New Orleans, but I think the second unit has been a great strength of ours as well. We've leaned heavily on those guys throughout this season. We can go down the list, and Malik, Walker, Rudy, Nikhil, Taylor, like all those guys have been massive parts of where we are in this season right now. And so, we love our bench, we trust our bench, and we approach every night as we're a team, and we're going to try to find the group that works best on that night. A lot of times it involves players that are coming off of our bench. So, I was happy with the way they played. They shared the ball, ended up generating a lot of good shots for each other, and were able to knock them down.
Everyone always kind of points to Bando and says his motor is nonstop, his energy is high, which is true. But in a game like tonight where he's racking up 18, 14, and 6, what else did you see from him out there on the court, like from a technical perspective that you like?
Yeah, I think he did a very good job of using his nonstop motor to get himself into the right spot on the floor over and over again on both ends. He had the assignment of guarding Zion to start the game, which is very tough. But I think he did a good job of, holding his own with the help of his teammates. And then on the offensive end, like his activity, he was able to be in his correct spacing. Got some good dump offs, 8 offensive rebounds. Like, I think his motor shows up in a lot of different ways, but you can't senselessly run around. I think tonight his energy was great, but he was very deliberate about where he was moving to, especially on the offensive end of the floor.
They don't take a lot of threes anyways, the Pelicans, but holding them to 4 of 27 from the three-point line. I know you already talked about what you guys are doing on that end, but I think these little 2-game series this year, it allows for a lot of adjustments. What do you have to do to make sure that they don't come back and just...
Yeah, they took 27 of them, which is a relatively low number. I would say if they shot those same 27 again, they're going to make more than 4. That's a very good team. We just played. There were for sure 5 or 6 while they're in the air that I'm thinking those are good. So it's about us watching the film and trying to make sure that we try to limit the good looks for their good shooters. We can't sit here and say, oh, they only made 4. We did a great job. I think limiting them to 27 is good, but they have some very, very capable shooters on that team. I mean, Trey Murphy is a very good three-point shooter coming into his own in this league. C.J. McCollum's a good shooter. They have a lot of guys that are very capable of knocking down shots. So I think it's just about us going back, looking at the game plan on the film and figuring out where are some opportunities for us to be a little bit smarter on that end. Because I don't expect them to go 4 for 27 if they shoot 27 of them again.
Pretty good.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.